control. Breach in 5, 4, 3.
What's up, guys? It's Uncle Freedom coming to you on another glorious and well-deserved day off. And today we're going to take a look at some new stuff from Tenicor. So if that sounds fun and interesting to you, specifically, we're going to be talking about a holster and some belts today, one of which I am super stoked on. Go ahead and like, subscribe, tell a friend. If you're looking to support the channel, take a look down in the description box below. There's a link that goes to my link tree where all of the affiliates of the channel exist. If you're looking to help the channel, liking, subscribing, and if you were going to buy something, use the links because it helps us. So, Tenicor. Now, for those of you that have been a member of the channel for a minute, you have heard me talk about Tenicor. So recently I did a video where I talked about a very specific holster from company, the Filster Floodlight, which is a universal holster that as long as you have the light the holster is designed for, if your gun will accept that light, the holster will work, which is a great option for people that run random guns or lots of guns with the same light. But I did say in that video that if I were to pick a holster that was actually sized and fit to the gun, that I would select Tenicor. Now, like most of you, I covered this in that video, but I too went down the rabbit hole of T-Rex arms versus Tier 1 concealed versus this company versus that company. Until one day I started getting involved with companies that were not just holster companies, but they were holster companies that weren't trying to just mass sell stuff. It was more about the quality of the component itself, how well it concealed. And let's see, here we go. I had to find those. The quality of what was concealed and how well it concealed, how well it actually fit on your body and the gun. And there's been a lot of upgrades in that world recently. We've gone already from the little foamy clips and we've gone to more metal clips. There's better options, your belt loops, whatnot. Tenicor, though, I specifically talked to Tenicor a while back, and this was my first holster from them. This is the Ceratum Lux. There's a full video of this. I'll leave a link right here that goes to it. This holster is designed for the SIG P320, either X-Carry, compact, what have you, but it's fit to the gun. And as long as I have a compact weapon light that would fit that gun, this holster will fit it. It's awesome. And the thing is, as soon as you pick up a really well-made holster and you start messing with it, it's just a very different feel, a very, very different fit, very different finish. Now you will notice with this one, I have wedges on the back. These are the Filster modular wedge kit. You'll see I have these on the back of this. And what this did is it solves the problem of it actually presses against me and pushes the grip of the gun backwards, since this is the hardest part for us to conceal. Another common thing you see on holsters is something like the wing. Now, the wing comes in a bunch of different varieties. Here's a T-Rex wing you see here, but you see the flex I'm getting out of this wing. So what that wing or claw or whatever is designed to do is actually, so in addition to this one where I push the holster back, you see I also have wedges on this, the wing would serve to pull the grip of the handgun back towards my body, because again, that is the hardest part of the firearms to conceal. Tenicor has a very different approach. They use what's known as a camming bar. It is not a wing. It's not something that sticks off my holster. It's not an additional piece, really, that adds a different leverage point outside. It's actually bolted into the holster, which I find really cool. They also use incredibly good hardware. So this was my intro into the world of Tenicor as far as holsters go. So I reached out to Tenicor. Full disclosure, the two belts I'm going to show and this holster were sent to me by Tenicor because they're awesome people. So I have been recently going down the trend of switching out weapon lights to a larger weapon light, because if I can conveniently carry a larger weapon light, I will take the increased capability. So the holster I got in is the Tenicor Malus Sol. So Malus meaning mischievous, Sol meaning sun, the mischievous sun. Basically what we've got here is a very slim, very low profile holster. We have a very high ride sweat guard on the back of this guy, which is actually more important than you realize. And we have some concealment technology built into this holster that's a little different than what you would see in most other stuff. Now, this holster specifically is designed for the X300, either attached to a Glock 17, Glock 22, Glock 19, or a Glock 23. Doesn't matter, it will fit them all. You see the big opening here on the end. So, for example, let's just take a look at this guy here. So this is one of my Glock 19s. This is a Gen 4 Glock 19 with a Surefire X300 on here. If I were to take this guy and insert it, I have incredibly good lockup, very good retention. You see, I have this very high sight channel, which is very important if you're running a Glock holster and you're going to have a dot on it, because you have to run like skyscrapers for sights because of the way the Glock MOS system works. But you see how good we get the fit down here as far as the end of the light goes. Now, this holster specifically was got in by me because I'm going to be doing a Glock 47 with a Hollow Sun EPS and a Surefire X300 Turbo in the tan colorway. This is just another one I happen to have at the house, and that test fitting was done. So when you receive your Tenicor holster, it's actually completely disassembled. You get the shell. The only two things that are bolted is your rubber washers here with these two screws and back piece. And then the rest of it's kind of up to you. Now, this is where Tenicor shines and other people don't. Because by putting together your holster once you get it in, you have a very in-depth knowledge of what you did to make it fit you better. So Tenicor comes with two clips. You'll get the discrete carry concept clips. These are known as the T1. This is a Tenicor design. The discrete carry clips are kind of the standard. These are spring steel with a hook underneath it. They're sized for either 1.75 or 1.5 inch belts. These are specifically for a 1.5 inch belt. The mounting hardware is exceptionally good, and they actually have a very specific pattern, and you can mount up higher, down lower, and you have about a 1/2 inch travel. So you actually have over 1 inch of ride height adjustment from these clips. And then you'll notice this blocky area here. That is actually where my camming bar would mount. It comes with all your hardware, and you get 3 different camming bars, roughly a 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch, and a 1/2 inch. I am a 3/8 of an inch guy. That is what I have found works best for me. So you mount that in. So now again, instead of having this extra piece sticking off the holster out to here to cam this part of the holster in, I have something that is attached to the holster and is actually more a part of the formation of the holster as a part of, in addition to something that's bolted onto the outside. One of the other standouts of the Malus Sol, you'll notice here that all of my excess material, instead of it going down, has been removed. That may not seem like a big deal to you, but if you stick this down the front of your pants, having less material on the outside means that I can scoot this over a little more, and it's going to make it a little more comfortable for me. Something else Tenicor has done, and you can see the offset of these clips here. Why that is important is as my belt gets through to line up on my belt, it's already canting this holster, the grip of my gun, back to me, and then I have the camming bar to provide additional pressure to bring that grip by. Let's go ahead and insert this Glock in here. So just off of the belt loops alone, I'm going to get this camming action, and then the addition of my camming bar, I get more to tuck this to my stomach. Something else Tenicor did with these, I am a fan of wedges. They're not for everyone. I like the ability to move them around and make them work. However, these get disgusting and nasty because they're crammed into your crotch all day. Just how it is. But the Malus Sol offers something that doesn't exist on the other ones. And you can see it on the back of this guy. This built-in body contour, as Tenicor puts it, it's a built-in wedge. What this is going to do is, as I put this into my pants, it's going to, again, we'll put the Glock back in there. Instead of it sitting like this, it's going to angle this back to me, enabling me to better conceal the firearm. Add that into addition to the cants. It makes my firearm sit more at an angle like this as just a function of the holster, which is going to aid me in concealment. But this is a super low profile holster to have a full-size X300 light. The Malus Sol is only available for a full-size weapon light. So that is the X300, the X300 Turbo, the PL350 from Mod Light, another one of my favorites, or one of everybody's favorites and one I have a bunch of, which is the TLR1. Be sure you get the specific holster for the light that you're getting because it's not a universal fit, because your retention is based off of the light and the gun itself in this one. Like I said, some of the features that Tenicor does in that $120 price range, that's a good deal for a great holster. These are USA made out of a 093 thermoplastic, so not your standard Kydex, which doesn't suffer from some of the same rigidity, longevity, and brittle problems that can occur with Kydex. As you have creases cut into it, it tends to cause a problem over time, breaking that holster. You see it a lot with like a T-Rex arms. You see it a lot right here where this very sharp bend is and this claw. So I'm putting a lot of pressure on this part of the holster and it ends up snapping that. I have broke numerous T-Rex arms holsters because of that. Whereas you take something like the Tenicor's design, this is all very solidly built into the holster design itself. Same deal here. I have a very slim and compact. Now you can compare these two. So this is a P320 X carry with a TLR7, and you can see kind of the height difference there with the extra stuff on there compared to the Malus Sol. So it's a lot more slimline, very comfortable to have it in your pants. And let's see, I like what they've done with this. I really like that they've designed a clip that works best for their stuff. I really like that I'm not worried about things like the high ride here. So this is going to be awesome because it keeps this from chewing up my undershirts and my body and turning this into a sweaty mess. I also like the fact that I'm not necessarily going to have to run a wedge to get that better concealment from my holster. Tenicor stuff is about $120 for the holster itself, but it is a USA made product from a company that directly supports the Second Amendment and are just good freaking people. He makes solid quality stuff. I know a lot of people went and saw Tenicor for the first time after my review of the Keratin Lux, which was the certain or stable, and Lux being light, which is a really cool design. The Keratin line of holsters is great because any light that would fit this handgun in a compact lighting, system such as the TLR7, 7A, I'm going to be able to run with this holster as long as I have it attached to this gun, versus a much more designated version of this just for the Glock 19, 17, 22, 23, with as long as I have that X300, which is one of my more favorite red lights. But I just, once you get your hands on a really well-made holster for the first time and you just do the insert and feel it, it's no comparison. So that is a look at the Malus Sol. I've been very impressed by anything Tenicor's got. So your camming bars that come, so when you, like I said, you get your holster, it's basically a shell with the two clips and the hardware for them, and you'll have 3 camming bars with your hardware. All of the hardware for Tenicor is flathead Phillips head screws. It is all incredibly high end, really, really, really nice hardware. And again, you have a company that's literally giving you the clip we're all upgrading to any freaking way as a natural part of buying their holster. And I just adore the camming bar on these holsters in comparison to the Raptor from T-Rex, or even the Mod Wing from Filster. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Mod Wing. Mod Wings are great, but I really love that camming bar. That is just such a awesome solution to a problem that we all face as concealed carriers. So, second part of this video, and that is taking a look at a belt from Tenicor, which is how I actually ended up with another holster and stuff. Is I made a comment about how cool their new belt looked. So it was something else. And I really understood what I was going to be looking at. And you guys are going to see that in the next video I cover, where I talk about Tenicor's new Zero belt and kind of what just struck me as wild about it. So guys, there you go today. A good look at the Tenicor Malus Sol, adding yet another Tenicor holster to my collection of things that I trust to carry my sidearm for if that eventuality happens of today's that day that I have to deal with the worst thing I could possibly deal with. Choose the best option you can for that. Again, I stand by my previous statements I've covered with Tenicor numerous times, which is if I am going to pick a holster that is fit to a gun, I am going to take Tenicor. They are just that good. Like I said, fit, finish, edges, it's all CNC machined. Just everything about the way he makes his holsters is it's otherworldly good. And I really, really like that. I like the fact that these holsters are so well fit that I can actually, just by moderately applying more tension here, almost make this thing just too tight. And I love that. I love the fact that I can make a holster too tight. I love the fact that I can back off of it and really achieve that perfect retention I'm looking for. And little subtleties, little bitty subtleties that he does, like offsetting these two clips just enough so that even without this camming bar, I am getting slightly better retention and concealment mechanics just because of the way his clip design is done. It's little details. That's what you pay for in better quality holsters, are little bitty details that make your life as a concealed carrier better for you and allow you to conceal better, all of these things. Because we would all agree that weapons are designed to be felt and not seen. And anything that gives me an edge is something I'm going to look at. I still love Filster. I love what Filster does. I still think they're highly just a great holster company. But I'm telling you, yet again, if we're going for something that's fit to a specific gun, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to run Tenicor because of little things like this that make my life easier as a concealed carrier, to allow me to conceal a better, more effective tool to defend myself, other people, or my family. So guys, there's a look at the Tenicor Malus Sol, another fantastic option from the good folks over at Tenicor. Again, USA made, not really a lead time to speak of because they are not made to order. You are going to get exactly one color from Tenicor, and it's this. It's in my pants. I don't really care. So if you're looking for a good holster, guys, if you are finally ready to take that plunge and really get your hands on a just rock star of a holster fit to your favorite gun, and you're ready to rock and roll, you're going to run that. Go ahead and take those guys. Get a look at those guys. It's Tenicor.com. What they are putting out is subjectively, and in my personal opinion, better than most of what I'm seeing from anybody else. They're just that well made. And I'm really impressed with the little bitty details, because here's the thing, and this is true in almost anything. If you'll get the little bitty things right that most people wouldn't think of, something as small as this to provide better concealment, if you're willing to get those little bitty things right, you're going to get the really big stuff right too. So, guys, I am Uncle Freedom. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Until next time, see you later.